Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim coming to you from beautiful Georgia, North Georgia, Cumming, Georgia, specifically at Bald Ridge Creek Campground on Lake Lanier. It is 44 degrees outside, and here's the news that's going on. I got a lot of information I want to share. Let's make some coffee, like I need anymore. I got some pretty good sleep last night, and I was instructed to do that by my daughter because guess what we're doing? I was thinking about it yesterday that I need to go on another hike, but this time it needs to be a serious hike. It doesn't need to be one of these around the park or over at Sawney Mountain Trail, which is a great little hike. Don't get me wrong. I'm going on a hike today that is 5 miles round trip up and down. And let's talk about it. Oh, I'm going to have to do the whole thing. And I don't want to have to wait that long. But I don't know how to measure it any differently. So there goes the fifth wheel out of here. Somebody's gone. I'm still here. I'm 193 man still, and I've kicked in the carnivore pretty extensively in the last 24 hours. The only exception there might be is Lisa is supposed to make spaghetti, and of course I would never be rude when we've tried everybody's meal. You know, I made Baker tacos, my daughter made Loco Moco, Eddie made the winning meal, Southern food. And then Lisa is supposed to come through for us for her apparently fantastic spaghetti. And that's just full of carbs, and I'm going to eat it. But after that, because I can tell you, I can't eat the what do they call it, a traditional American diet? Can't do it. After you try carnivore and you go 4 months eating meat, butter, and eggs, and you're completely satiated, you're not living to eat, you just eat to live, you pass those hunger strikes and spikes of wanting bad food, carbs, sugar, and the like. It's easy. It's not a tough diet. And your bowel movements, your body, your energy level, everything about your life, blood work is better. I mean, I've proven it to myself. 4 months. And since I started incorporating back vegetables, carbs, you know, and different things like that, I did get sick. I had a head cold, number one. Number two, I've had gassy, bloated feelings, more constipation, more frequent bowel movements when I'm eating all this stuff. My weight went up 2 or 3 pounds, and then I started hiking and walking, and I kind of combated it. And I was getting, I don't know, these very lethargic days. Could be because of my lack of sleep. I'm not trying to, you know, tie one to the other. I don't know. But I basically didn't feel as good as when I'm strict carnivore. So I promote carnivore. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it by not eating vegetables and fruits and sugars. I think that that's what you should do. Now, you know, I'm going to get pushback on that, just like I got some pushback on the Medicare Advantage plans. And I'm going to speak on that. Again, I was going to talk about it this morning. Actually, I was going to talk about it right now, but I'm just doing morning chat. And I want to first just say, because I made an evening chat on the way to my daughter's last night, pushing back against the pushback, but I have since, as I said, a critical thinker and gleaning more information from AI and the internet, factual stuff regarding what some people have said about the changing effects in Medicare with these insurance companies that are bailing or ghosting us, getting out of it, prior authorizations, not wanting to pay the doctors. The doctors are having a lot of paperwork and they're getting slow pay and not much pay and all this other stuff. And so they're like, hey, we're done with you. We don't want anything to do with it. It's true. It's true and it's growing. However, you have a parachute. You've got a golden ticket and it's all good. And I'm not changing. And I'm going to explain all that to help a lot of people to avoid those scare tactics. See, anytime something like that happens, and it's happening, people on the internet, it exaggerates. And it's not true. We're going to stick to the facts, folks, not hyped up, oh, you're going to be out on your ear, they're going to let you die, you're not going to have any coverage and all that. And that can happen, but there's a golden parachute that saves the day. In the meantime, until that nuclear switch you ever have to pull comes, you can enjoy zero premiums and benefits like hearing, dental, vision, and gym memberships, and possibly a give back program like I have. So I will absolutely never consider changing my plan until my plan changes me. And then now I've learned that I don't have to worry about something. I will have to pay, and I'll get into that, but you're not going to believe what they're going to give you the right to do when and if that situation comes. And it has came for some people, like up in, some places. So I'll be talking about that more. Let's get back to morning chat. That was just a little sneak pit for you. Hey, turn that heater off. It's getting hot in here. This morning, I turned the fireplace on, and I also turned the space heater on. And as you know, I have a 30 amp camper. Here it is. Ooh, that thing works. Oh, stop working. I turn on my little floor space heater, which is incredible for this camper. I don't even need the fireplace. I certainly don't need my furnace and use my propane. I can just plug in that little floor space heater. It's not a ceramic heater. It's a 12 or 1500 watt, kind of a juicy pull. But it doesn't cycle off and on. I like that one better. I had that one, but it broke. This one just stays on. But it'll warm this entire trailer, and I'm never going to deal with any colder weather than I've got right now. So down in Florida, when we get those 3 days a year of it being chilly, I'm being a little facetious, we get 6 or 7 days a year of it being chilly. I got that as a backup rather than wasting my propane. But the furnace is awesome as well. And this is a pretty economical trailer camper with the propane, because I've been using one tank for 6 months. I still have another big full 30-gallon tank. Anyway, 5-mile hike. Got my Merrells on. I'm wearing my hiking pants on. Take a look at me. It's a fashion show, folks. Here, let me point you down a little bit. You can see what I got on. These are the Walmart outdoor stretchier, lightweight, like hiking, like Columbia, like any of those top brands. They're Wrangler, but they're not the cotton cargos with the flaps. They got the zipper. They are absolutely awesome. I bought these before. I bought like 4 pair, threw them in the trash. Why? Not because they weren't good. I think I was fat and I couldn't wear them, and I just got rid of them. And that's just the way I roll. Sorry. And then I bought them all again. Now I have like 6 pair, every color. And I love them. They're good with for riding a motorcycle, for hiking, lightweight in the summer, even in Florida. Just really all around a good outdoor thin pant. Now you might want to line them if you're riding a motorcycle, with some motorcycle pants over them, or some of the silk long johns. I'll show you what I got. I don't know if I'm ever going to use them in Florida. I might have to return these. I got these right here. These are made by Reebok. This one is the upper. You can feel the material here. It's not that. See, it's like the drawers I wear. It's like these. These are my my underwear. They're a stretchy, dry fit gym short I love these. I don't wear whitey tighties anymore. Or like these right here. They're even more, that's more of what they are. They're like, you know, thin, stretchy, a dry fit. They wick moisture away from you. Anyway, that's what, and here's the pant. So I have the top and the bottom. I was going to wear them like on the motorcycle. I'm sure I'll still use them, so I'll keep them. And they're not open, tops and bottom, by Reebok. Forgot what they cost, maybe 15 bucks a piece. But they're, the old school ones are like those ribbed cotton kind, and they're real thick, and you put your pants on over them, and you can't hardly fasten your pants. Well, anyway, that's what I can put under these, riding the motorcycle in some chilly temperature, and then in absolute cold weather, I'll just have to get motorcycle pants and a jacket and all. Okay, the coffee's ready. Let's continue talking about the hike today. I have to, it's 9:30. My daughter gets off at 11 today, and Eddie is taking the day off. He's joining us. We're all going because they're bailing on me tomorrow and going to a birthday party out of town, and they're going to get a room, and I'm going to be by my lonesome. But I'm going to go to that car show and video that for you guys. And it's going to be good. Also, this is going to be about, it's up around Cleveland, Georgia. And it's about 45-minute drive to get there. But this is a very strenuous walk. So she's like warning me, eat this morning, which I eat breakfast already. Eat, bring water, get ready, get plenty of sleep. I told her, I said, I'm a professional hiker, right? Only because I did those hikes in the Alum Trail and Chimney Tops in the Smokies. And believe me, it can't be much tougher than those. And those were, I got through them. And so I was able to do those because I did a lot of walking in Florida and stuff and going to the gym for weeks and months before I took this trip. So I was somewhat prepared. And now her and I have done some walks, even just 2 days ago, two of them that were 3 miles and 2 miles respectively. And then we did the Sawney Trail, and I did it by myself once. So I'm ready. Let's try some coffee here, folks. I got good color. I got to get over to the Human Bean. I got to get me some Juju Bean. I'll get hopped up. I'll run up that trail today. That's slurpable. Folks. Oh my goodness. Folks, that's the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. Man, that's good coffee. Wow. I want to thank all of those subscribers that have provided me with McCathy. Started out with Bob and Kathy, and then the brother-in-law and sister-in-law. I think it's Kathy's brother and sister-in-law, Rick and Connie, that gave me this one. And then, of course, I have Police Don out in Texas who gave me a couple of them. And he actually contacted me the other day. He's a really good person. He's about ready to leave his prison job after 40-something years. Here's to Police Don, getting ready to live the free life. Also, Craig, yesterday I had breakfast with. He's just a guy that's into making it and losing it, and making it and losing it. There's no stopping this guy. I mean, there's truth to this. Listen to this. If you've ever made it, like really successful, made wealth, and you've associated your life to that, those people that lose it always come back. And why? Because they know what it takes and they associate their life only being that way. And a man is how he thinks. So even if you lose money and you're down to, living you're homeless even, you will come back because you've had that and you associate your life that's the normal way for you. But people that have never achieved great success have always been somewhere in the middle or down low, poverty even, or these people that choose to stay on the streets and hold cardboard signs and don't want to work and they look young and healthy and can. That's their mindset. And you know what? I'll tell you, some people are happy with that. Some people that have no home are actually happy. I know that might be hard to believe, but it's true, because I've had people tell me that have been in both, and there was a certain amount of peace they had even when they didn't have, but they came back. But if you've never enjoyed success, if you've never had a taste of real money, real success in life, unless you've got this burning ambition to achieve it once, and usually when you're younger, you may never get there. So life is what you put into it, and life is totally as you think. And that is so true. Having God in your life and thinking positive and seeing yourself and thinking good about yourself and thinking you can do it and not be down in the mouth is really the key to anything. And so if you possess those qualities, kudos. If you don't, work on it. Because that's all it takes. It just takes action. Call to action. It isn't going to fall in your laps, folks. Nobody's going to give it to you. The government's not going to help you. You must help yourself in this world. But some people believe that everybody else can think for them, do for them, help them, give them. Nah. Man, this is good coffee. It is cold out there, but it is sunny. It is going to be gorgeous. Now back to my my hiking and my itinerary today and this weekend regarding the car show. So I got a lot of stuff on my mind that is bringing my window to a close on my vacation. And it's a bittersweet because I'm going to definitely miss this. I know when it's taken from my eyeballs that I'm taking it for granted now. And, I don't walk out the camper door and see this Lake Lanier and these trees and people coming and going and kids running around. And everybody's, camping and campfires and, marshmallows and s'mores. And, I go back to Florida. There is a sense of excitement about that too. I have a wonderful place to put my camper. I have everything there. I've got my e-bike. The Gold Wing is waiting for me. Beaches and, being at home and settled in and cutting the spigot off of what I'm spending. And I'm doing it the most economical way I can, folks, on this trip. And I think I've done a pretty good job. But turning that off and stopping the hemorrhaging, but it wasn't a waste. I mean, I procured the motorcycle, even though that was an expense. If I wasn't here, I wouldn't have got it. If I wasn't here 2 years ago, I wouldn't have this, the Flagstaff. So as you can see, so many good things come out of what we didn't realize as you move your way through life. And I'm telling you, I just get off and excited about what the future is going to hold, even when I get back home. Who I might meet, places I might go, things I might do with the Gold Wing, the more motivation I might have to run across the other side of the state and see Ted and Jolene. Somewhere, some reason to go somewhere. Ride up the coast, go to Daytona, hit those bike weeks. You got the one that just happened earlier this year at Daytona, and then right now is the Biketoberfest. It's in the middle of the state. And then, of course, you've got what's going on for Halloween, Fantasy Fest in Key West, which I want nothing to do with. But when it's over and there's going to be a nice, good calm when I get home, maybe I'll take a little ride down there. And so obviously the main draw for me right now is to get to that bike, is to throw my leg across that baby with my helmet and get that bad gas out of it that I apparently pumped in there. It's got that oscillating idle. Everybody seems to be confident that's what it is. I'm going to get a siphon hose at the parts store that has a little bulb pump, like you would take gas out of a tank of a generator or something, not out of your car. And I'm going to suck that out. I'm going to go fill it up with some good gas at a station that sells a lot of gas. And I'm going to drive that baby. And then I've got the warranty. I'll worry about the windshield issue. And by the way, that other thing I wanted the dealer to check for me, these bikes have an emergency brake, the automatic models. And it works perfect if you hold it on the last click. But when you let it go, it kind of comes down one click. And that bike, I noticed it right here. Well, at the other campsite I was at, my driveway has a little bit of a hill. It was going to roll backwards when I put the bike upright. It wasn't holding with the emergency brake on, so it's not adjusted correctly. And I don't know if that's going to fall under a maintenance or that's a defective thing that needs to be fixed. Sounds defective to me. Only 5,000 miles. And I don't care if your brakes are down to being real thin and they need to be replaced. The emergency brake is supposed to always work, no matter what new brakes or old brakes. So anyway, minor windshield. Could be a simple thing. AI is telling me of reflashing the computer. But if that doesn't do it, because there was a bulletin, not a recall, about them, it's not an uncommon thing, then the windshield motor itself. And it has to be inoperative before they'll fix it. So I was recommended by AI to video it. Video it not working and take that to the dealer. But, I don't want the windshield not to be, working, intermittently up and down. I keep getting notifications from Walgreens that my eye drops are in. I got mail backed up. When I went home and flew home and drove the Goldwing home and flew back here, I left my mailbox key. My bank card is sitting in there. My debit card expired. The one I have on me expired. Thank God I got 50 other ones. So I had to switch my bank card that I had on a couple of apps that make automatic payments for Geico, my Walmart Pay, and my T-Mobile to get the $5 a month discount by auto pay. A bank account or a credit card, debit card, has to be on file, not a credit card. Doesn't qualify. So I was able to just put my routing and account number in there and kept that going. I don't want to pay $5 more a month for my $90 a month service I'm paying for now. So all that's going to be handled. I got to get home and get my mail and do all that. I want to get the bike registered, and it's already insured and all that. I got an appointment already. I've already scheduled my appointment. The VIN number on a car or a motorcycle that you bring in from out of state to the state of Florida, you have to have it verified physically by a law enforcement officer, a military law enforcement officer, a notary, or the seller of the vehicle that sold it to you. And the last case scenario is you can arrive to the tag office 15 minutes earlier, and the clerk or someone in the department will walk out physically and verify the VIN number. But there's a form they give you before you can even make an appointment in Florida at the tag office that they email you that you got to get printed and have that filled out, and even bring that with you if you're going to have them walk outside and verify the VIN number. But for, I guess, anti-theft and all that fraudulent stuff, they want someone to verify the vehicle identification number. So I got an appointment because I did get the paper and started it. And so that allowed me to go to the next step to go ahead and schedule my appointment. And I can either, like I say, do one of the aforementioned. So got to do that. Going to have to get the money out of the bank because they're going to charge you 2 or 3% for a credit card. And I don't want to pay an extra penny than I have to. I've already laid out enough. So I'll have to get the cash and do that. And that's what I'm going to do when I get home. And then hopefully that the idle is going to be rectified by getting that gas out of there. And then it's waxing. Wax job number 1. It's going to be cleaning that baby really good. I drove it in the rain 2 days. back to Florida, and right now it's sitting under a cover, dirty. And so we can't have that. I'm not going to go out and ride around with a dirty gold wing. And then it's, to go over there and check it, as we used to say. When I lived in San Diego, we'd say, let's go check it. That meant going by the beach and see if the waves are any good to go surfing. So I'm going to go by the beach. Maybe not going to be doing any surfing, but I'm going to go check it. So we're going to go check it at Lido. We're going to go check it at Bradenton, Coquina, and we're going to kick it. We're going to take a scooter ride. We're going to be taking the motorcycle ride, cruising up and down through Longboat, easing around, just enjoying life. In the meantime, I hope to get back out on the road with the camper or with the bike, and possibly procuring a motorcycle trailer or a trailer for the motorcycle that it itself pulls, or nothing like that, and just either elect to take the camper and go off and see people and stuff back up here or wherever I want to go, out west, or jump on that bike, no trailer, not pulling it behind my truck or the bike pulling anything. Just pack it up with minimalistic camping equipment and hit the road, Jack, and don't come back. And so these are all things that God will provide the answer and make it perfect. I might start out one way and then next year have a trailer. I don't know. You don't know, but you're going to find out. Also, I got to get going here. I just want to say that, again, I will follow up on the Medicare. Do not concern yourself with any comments that you read from people that are exaggerating or may not be completely correct. They're partially correct about what they're insinuating, but it is not to be feared. Don't you worry if you're on an MA plan, a Medicare Advantage plan like myself. We have plenty of things that can happen, that the government can change, that can come in and step in. And then there's always a parachute, a golden ticket it's called, that in the worst case scenario, the nuclear switch you can pull that will leave you, to some people might even like it, might even really like it. It's interesting to me, even though I would have to pay a monthly fee for traditional Medicare, but I'll put it to you this way, I'll give you a hint. There's a guarantee you can switch. No questionnaire, no health checks, nothing. You are in for life. You know, you got to pay for it, like everybody else, the other half of the country that is paying for a Medigap plan. So we're going to go over A and B and negotiated prices, and what people think about $1 million bill is not really $1 million. Nothing that you hear about hospital fees when it comes to Medicare or the fees, those are not, that's the retail, that's the sticker price. That is not what Medicare pays. That is not what you would have to pay if you were on the hook for the 20%. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I got some good information for you. There's always the worst thing could be, that's not good. I mean, there's always that possibility, but you don't have to fear of the whole thing is bad, No, trust me. It's going to be good for me anyway. So I'm still doing what I'm doing. Now, I was saying earlier that I turned on this heater and the power went out. I've got a 30 amp camper here. Generally, campers with more than one air conditioning unit on the roof are 50 amp. I think that's the way it works. I have a single 15,000 BTU air conditioner. Duct. But running that heat, anything with heat really draws a lot of watts. So running that furnace this morning with the heat on and that floor space heater shut it off twice. Took about 5 minutes in between the two shutoffs, and it was early this morning when I think moisture. Also, AI said if you've got a long wire, your shore power line that runs the 30 amp power from the power box to your camper, you lose power. Now, I've heard that before, like drop cords, extension cords, another word. The longer it is, before the power gets to the very end of the device you've got to plug into, it drops if it's an extremely long extension cord. Shorter cord, you get more full power. So I did. I bought a 50-foot cord because I wanted it to reach where it plugs into my camper back here to the back of that truck where my generator is. And I didn't know if the one that comes with it, I think they're 25 feet or so, would be enough. So I bought a 50-foot one. I have the shorter one. And if I were to think, which sometimes I don't, when you go to a campground, you're backing your camper up to the water source and the power source every time. It's not going to be far away. So I don't need that long I don't want to keep calling it hose. Cord. Only for when I'm boondocking and I might want to make sure I can reach my generator, or even if my truck was disconnected, because that generator is too heavy to get out of the back of the truck. I would have to pull the truck around or something like that. So there's still a get around on it. So anyway, that's what happened. It shut off and I'm like, why? I'm plugged in at a campground with bitchin' power. Why is it off? And AI said, because you're using too many watts even with 30 amps. You know, you can overload it, and that's the protection to prevent fire. So certainly if I were to run the microwave, the fireplace, the space heater, not to mention with all the lights and the refrigerator and everything else running, that I would be over the amount. But later, I was hard-headed. I was determined to make it work or see if it would still work, knowing I have a breaker that's going to break hopefully before a fire. I tested it again and it didn't shut off. I think the moisture or whatever was out there or the temperature's coming up, or I don't know why. It didn't shut off again. So that's the story on that. Moving on. He's all hopped up. This is, I forgot to show you guys, my newest procurement that I'm going to return to Amazon. Look, it's just like the one my subscriber gave me, but it's a much shorter loop around the neck. And it has this piece right here to rest on your chest. And this is extremely stiff. It's really good. It's not going to, like, the phone weight of it is not even close to like making it droop. It's got a hinge here that you got to tighten up, otherwise it will droop. But this part, it's really tough. So I was going to, basically ride the motorcycle and have this right in front of my eyeballs. Not going to work. Or down like here, below my eyesight, but still be out in front of me where I can see the screen, and also high enough that it's over the speedometer and the dash of what I was doing last time with the other deal I have. So you can really see. And this would actually work, I think. But the other one, and this one comes with another piece that attaches right here if you don't want to use this. And you can put the phone like right here, for like point of view reviews. But this one's made for like sitting in your chair or laying in bed, and you can see videos and look at the internet hands-free. That's what it's about. Looks kind of weird, but it would work. I mean, look, I'm looking right over it. The phone would be like that. I can still see. It's very good. The windshield is going to block the wind. And I don't have to buy all those, fancy stems that go on the motorcycle that holds with a ball and a GoPro. I got to go out and buy that and some microphone thing and spend all this money. I don't want to do that. I want to cheat and just use my phone and put it in something. And this is very, very good. And this is super, super stiff and strong here. And it's not going to wiggle around because I got a windshield blocking the wind. I just have to either do a voiceover or figure out how to put my mic wearing that helmet where my voice is still being picked up and no wind noise. So I'll try it. And if there is too much wind noise, then I'll just turn the audio out of the video and do a voiceover. But this would work, so I might keep it. The other one that I have, I want to show you, that I was thinking, it would also work for the, see, this is magnetized here. it's not going anywhere either. And this piece comes out, the rest against your deal. And this has the tightening right here of the ball to move this around and left and right, like that. You got to tighten it up. And then this here, you just tighten that, and that allows you to have that to where you want. I think I'm going to keep it. It wasn't that expensive. Also, I got this one because I didn't know if I had to return one, but this was interesting to me also. Look, you pull this up, and this, I mean, it'll go twice that wide. If I want to keep unscrewing this, look at the threads on this thing. It goes way up. I mean, this can really clamp on any desk or thing. So I thought, what if it could clamp onto the windshield of the motorcycle or behind it or something on that motorcycle, because I don't have it here to check it, that it would clamp on. Then you just simply tighten this down. Look, it's got a good, not a little ring. It's got a good gripping thing, right? And remember, it's got the windshield blocking it blowing around. Now look at this. This can extend this far. Okay, that's fully extended. And you can do this. Starting at the top, you've got that. And you've got landscape and portrait articulation. You've got this. And then look at this. There's little teeth right there that this, but wait a minute. It also does this. And then hold it. That's not all. It's got this. Now, it doesn't go this way or this way. It only goes this way. But don't worry. If you need it to go this way, you just simply, it also spins around right here. I'm turning the bottom, and this is pivoting. So this one pivots, and this one pivots, and it pivots here. And then this is stationary. So you basically clamp it where you want it, and then you move these other pieces. So I was thinking like this would go on the motorcycle, bring it down and have it like that, and then like this. There you go. Nothing is obstructing it here to view out through the windshield. And this would be down somewhere on the bike. And I could also lower it where it's not in my view. And I have, but if I don't use it for the bike, and I doubt I will, look, a lot of people on YouTube use these kinds of things on a table, this part, and then they have that come up behind them or over them, and then this like straight down. If I'm on a table, you can be looking at what I'm using my hands to show you. That's what these guys do that, review products or iPhones and stuff like that. So you don't have to hold a selfie stick. And I don't need a tripod that's away from me, but I have something over me. I could sit down, lift this up, right? I could bend this over me, put this out. See? I can do all these articulations. Just want to show you the perfect L shape. So, there you go. So it's kind of cool too, and I don't know, why isn't that going in? Is there some reason it's not collapsing? Well, whatever. Interesting. That goes in. Oh, I see. No, I don't see. Why isn't that going in? I don't know. It's supposed to collapse more than that. This is supposed to go down in there. I can't see without my glasses. I got no time. I got to go. I got to get to crushing it.